to have, if you're with me live, I'm glad to connect with you all because every year every month I come on and do a coffee chat with you all. I started it during the pandemic, and I kept it because I really like it. A lot of my shows and live streams are structured, but I never really get a chance to just sit down and talk. So this is that chat. So see my little fun polka dot background. I'm a polka dot person. I like polka dots. They're fun. I like them. So if you have never done the True Colors Challenge, the personality contest, my first color is green, which is analytical. I teach math. Then my second color is orange. So I love a good laugh. I do. Some people say I have a twisted sense of humor, and I can sometimes agree with that. So this is Coffee Chat. So welcome. If you're catching me on the replay, drop your name there, connect with me, because one of the things that I have learned, especially with this Ukraine war, that we are a global society. And I was taken aback as to how much we were connected with Russia. That went over my head. And I was like, I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Not sure. So, yeah, that's a little different. But we are a global community because in my Math Intervention Academy, I have teachers from the UK. I have teachers from Canada that are part of them. Then I have people in this group that are from other countries. So we are a global community or society, which, sometimes you don't have the support that you need and on your campuses. And I've been in that position where I've been the only fifth grade teacher, or I was the only fourth grade. Like it's hard because teaching is a collaborative profession. You must collaborate. And sometimes not necessarily with the content, unless like eighth grade, I hadn't taught eighth grade math, but I'm familiar with the content. So I have to collaborate with the other eighth grade teachers, especially not necessarily on pedagogy. Pedagogy and content are two different things. And I have to collaborate with him just recently because I was like, I'm not used to eighth grade direct variation. I'm more used to just slope and, because the question was, which one is has a proportional relationship? I'm like, rate of change is proportional, but then, direct variation is something different. So I was like, yeah, is this direct? And he was like, yes. So having a community to collaborate with when you're the only one is important. And the math intervention with the Ignited Teacher, that group was created for that because I knew the pandemic, we were going to need math intervention more than we have needed in the past, because truth be told, math intervention is overlooked. For example, I have a lady from up north who's she's a teacher in the Math Intervention Academy. And on Sundays, twice a month, I do planning sessions, and you can ask questions or whatnot. But she comes on and I help her with strategies for her lesson. But she's at a charter school and she's not getting the support that she needs. So I help her with lessons, strategies, and we talk through things. So if you find yourself in a bind, sometimes you have to go outside of that. You do. I know I've had to do it. I think I had this conversation with one of my coworkers, and we were talking about how I have outgrown the school system. And really, it was probably about my 6th year of teaching that you don't get what you need from the school system. Sometimes as a first year teacher, you do. But sometimes you outgrow the people who support you at work. You do. And for me, my vision for my classroom is a lot different than most. I work in high poverty schools, but I am not the type of person who buys into this, you can't do certain things with certain kids. I disagree with that. And people, they challenge me on it, but my numbers say that it's not true. You can't say, water down the standards and water down your expectations and expect less, because the students, I feel like kids rise to whatever expectation. If you have low expectations for them, they're going to perform lower. And I expect my kids to perform and to be decent human beings. Like, I was having a conversation with my colleague this morning, and we were talking about how students, you have to teach them how to be community oriented, especially in the classroom, because that's where it starts. When you have a caring community in your classroom, because the kids don't come being caring. I'm telling you, because it's the survivor of the fittest in a lot of these neighborhoods. And it's not for them to, our nature, for them to care about someone else getting the work. We support. I call my classroom a community of learners. And you have to show them how to be caring and compassionate in the classroom. And that's why we have teams. Like, team building and doing team activities are important, especially if you have higher level learners as well, because they don't get it. Everything's a competition with the person next to them. But sometimes you have to help your fellow person out. We've seen that in sports over and over again. But caring communities are important in your classroom. And that's one of the things that I do in my classroom. I do. So this morning I have my cup. Let me put it here. It says her story. And that's my story. And moving on to the next topic. So next school year, hopefully I will not be teaching Algebra 1 next year. I don't mind teaching Algebra 1. I just don't want to teach 2 preps. 8th grade is hard enough when you have kids that are below grade level. And my brain, like, literally, I have been in math overload. I really have. And I haven't been able to show up like I could, because if you don't know, I had COVID at the beginning of the year, and right before school started, nonetheless. So I feel like I've been playing catch up all year long. I didn't have time to plan. And then I wasn't aware that I was teaching Algebra 1. So, hopefully next year I can shed that, because I do not want to teach Algebra 1 at all. So on a note, speaking of Algebra 1, I'm still working on my National Board certification. I'm excited about that because I got a new mentor. I don't know. I just get excited when I meet people that, share their love of learning and get excited about things. There's so much negativity going on in education right now. So I get excited when I find someone that likes education and love teaching and learning. I love projects. I love making math relevant, so much so that there's this post that I wanted to show. Let me pull it up. It's on my Facebook page. Let me go. There was this post that I shared with my students, and it was really sad, and I'm going to share it with you all. this was the post. And I think I got it out of a group. I'm going to see if I can make it bigger so you all can see. And I shared it in my math intervention group. And I'm not sharing this to shame this lady, but it was such a sad situation. So as you can see, this group says mothers with toddlers. And it says, so today I bought the Zarbee's baby vitamin D drops, but I'm not sure what dosage to give to my baby. It says to give her 25 hundredths of a milliliter a day, but the syringe that comes with it has 0.5 milliliters, which is 5/10. So that would mean I give her 5 a day. But that seems like too much to give her, but I don't even know. Sorry, probably sound dumb. I just want to make sure I'm giving the right amount to baby. So this kind of struck a nerve with me. So my son and I, we had the conversation about, math not being relevant. This was years ago. My son is 28 now. And, I'm out of focus. 28 now. And let me see. He was just like, when are we going to ever use this math? So what I did is I showed my students this actual, post. And the kids were like, it was so sad because my students were trying to help the lady. They was like, well, she could have, because 5.5 is 50 hundredths. And they said she could have just broken down. Like they were seriously trying to solve the lady's problem for her. And the funny part about that is I was telling them, I said, here's the situation. I said, you all are always asking me, when are we going to have or even deal with math? When are we going to use this? And this is a direct example. So what I told them, I said, a lot of times the things that we are teaching you all, you're going to have experiences later on in life as an adult. So one of my little students, she wanted to be a little smart child. She's like, I'm going to be a realtor and I'm not going to need this stuff. So I was teaching surface area and I was like, yeah, let's talk about that. So you don't think you're going to need surface area? No, because I'm going to have somebody else do that for me. Okay. You're going to have someone else do that for you. I said, so if they're painting the house that you potentially are selling and you're helping your sellers and they're saying that they have this astronomical amount of paint that they're going to use to paint and they're saying it's going to cost this much, you don't think you need to understand surface area? She was like, oh. And then I told them, went further. I was like, so what if one of your clients, they're handicapped and they need a ramp? I said, I've taught you all about slope. And then I went further to the whole class and said, knowing mathematics helps you participate in government. It helps you to understand when eminent domain happens, and that happens a lot in the city of Houston, when they want to take your property and saying that we have to expand this freeway system. And if they want to build a ramp that goes over your neighborhood, it would help to know something about slope. And I told them, I am not trying to turn you all into mathematicians. I'm not. I said, but just like you all were trying to help this lady. I said, that's how you become a productive citizen in society. And they really could not, they didn't have no comeback for the first time. Like, they got it, you know, because they feel like math is not meaningful, but it is. And it definitely goes back to what I said in the post when I posted it. I said, this is so sad on so many levels. More than anything, it proves why teaching math using real life situations is critical. And that's the bottom line. This, and I told my students, is a ding. Because at some point, and my 8th graders proved it, at some point, this lady should have had an experience with some mathematics. And my kids, the funny thing is they were so empathetic. And one of my students just sat there and said, and I said, she has a whole baby. And then it was so funny. One of the kids, we had moved on. She was like, is the baby still alive? She said, I'm concerned about the baby. And I bust out laughing. I was like, it's vitamins. She's not going to die if she gets an overdose of vitamins. But overall, if she continues to do that, it's going to do some harm. But it's so funny as to how they perceive this. But that was the funniest thing that I had ever seen. But like, this was a sad situation. It was sad. And to see the empathy that a lot of my students had, they was like, but she could have done this. And one was like, well, because she could have just did 0.5 point. I said, no. I said, and I was telling her how her thinking was faulty. I said, 0.5 is the same as what? She said, oh, it's 50. I said, think of it as in money. I said, 25 is half of what? 50 cents. And the kids were just like, it started a whole conversation. But my heart went out to this mother because like she was trying to make sure that she gave the baby vitamins and she couldn't figure out. And that just threw her for a loop. And it was the saddest thing that, you know, that she could have encountered. It was just sad to me as a teacher. It really was. It's sad. And that, if you don't get anything out of this coffee chat with me today, is make math real. What makes me cringe is to see teachers focus on that mathematical part and never bridge it to the real life application. But more than that, know what you know and know what you don't know and what you need help with. I don't know what it is with teachers having, well, it's not all teachers, well, some teachers having this perfect Patty syndrome. Nobody's perfect. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. Have I taught a lot of grade levels? Have I been teaching a long time? Absolutely. But just Thursday, I had to go to a teacher that is younger than me, who's only been teaching 3 years. I've been teaching 21 years, but there's no shame in my game. None. I went and asked her because she helped me with Desmos. She loves Desmos. She works with it. That doesn't make me any less of a veteran educator. Desmos, it is not my jam. Some of the kids love it, but I just feel like the graphing calculator is huge. But she's really good with Desmos. And I don't feel slighted. I don't feel less of an educator or expert. But if you know a teacher is really good with something, go ask them to help you. Because you are never too old to know what you don't know and get help. You will be celebrated more for reaching out to someone than to say, well, they're younger than me. I'm not going to. It doesn't make any sense. People have expertise in certain things. And I call her my smart colleague. And she's in our math department because she has something that I don't have. Do I have other things that she doesn't have the experience? Yes, obviously. But my thing is value your colleagues and treat them the way that you want to be treated. Everybody brings something to the table. They do. And, you know, I don't understand this old veteran teachers against the younger teachers. You younger teachers need to learn how to listen. And that's the gospel truth, because you don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge. And I have seen a lot of young teachers crash and burn because y'all don't listen. And it's not that, you know, and there are some, but I'm a clear example. All veteran teachers are not bitter. We have seen the school system go from what it used to be to actually what it is. And what it is not conducive to learning. It's an assault and an attack on educators and the public school system. So find out why your veteran teacher is bitter and why she feels a certain way, and try to understand and learn. Because if it had not been for veteran teachers, the ones who instilled in me and taught me the ropes, I wouldn't be sitting here now. But definitely understand where your teachers are coming from. And veteran teachers, learn from your younger teachers. Don't cut them off because they're impressionable and they're excited about this new profession. It is. Stop raining on their parade. Like, I was in this math group and it was a new, I think, high school teacher, and he put a parabola on the wall and they had this man. I was like, what? I was like, do you enjoy killing people's dream? Like, stop being a dream killer. And, you know, learn from one another, support them, celebrate them, and then help guide them. So that is all I have for this month's coffee chat. And that's really all that's going on with me. I am ready for the end of the school year. I know that you are too, because I am way over it. Wait, y'all don't even have a clue. But I'm going to end with that. If you have any questions, comments on this coffee chat, wherever you are, whether it be on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, hit your girl up at The Ignited Teach. If you're on Twitter and Facebook, if you are on YouTube, just leave a comment in the comment section. And I will see you all next month in April for another coffee chat. Bye-bye.